Hey guys, how's it going? It is February, whatever the hell it is. I can't see it from here. I'm on a weird angle here. Um, what is it? Oh yeah, today's February the 1st. Yeah. It's kind of weird. I used to look straight to the TV and I'm on an angle here, so I can't see this as well, but I can see other things over here better, if that makes a hell of a lot of sense. Yeah, it's been a little bit for an update. I finally got officially moved yesterday, so I got a little bit of a break. There's some neat things that are happening with this arrangement. There's, like I said, there's good news and bad news. The good news, as far as my personal well-being, is I'm very comfortable here. Things are going, really well. I get to see my son a little bit more, not in total time, but like for example, normally I would be seeing him right now, but he's upstairs, which is totally cool by me. Um, he's still recovering from whatever, and what with his he's got bronchitis, but he's just getting over it. Hopefully, he'll be back to school next week. But we've been being a little bit more flexible. We still have our time, my time, her time, etc. One of the so that's one of the benefits. Like usually, I see him on a Friday night, and I told him, I said, wanted to see him for a bit. I said, why don't you go upstairs for a bit? Take a break. I'm going to mention the same thing for tomorrow, so he could come down here anytime. It doesn't matter. But one of the unfortunate things that's happened is the Wi-Fi connection. I'm not sure what's happening. We reset the router earlier today, and it's been getting worse, and I'm not too sure if it was an update on my computer, but I keep on losing the Wi-Fi signal. Now I don't know how that affects in a live stream or not, but basically what will happen is the Wi-Fi will get the X through, or not the X through, I'll have internet access, but I'll lose the gateway. And this is going to cause issues when I do live streams. It won't cause an issue if I record and then edit later, which is something I may have to do. So I don't know what the future holds as far as that. Hopefully I get it resolved, because it's very annoying. I take it it's something on my end, or it's something that my system doesn't like the Wi-Fi, or it's something with the provider that just does weird things. I don't know. I'm in the basement. I'm underneath the router. I certainly have an excellent signal. Regardless of this, if you go into with the connected, it shows excellent signal. I normally have full bars or one under, but if you guys know about it, basically what happens is I lose the gateway, and the remedy for it is to either go through the network fixer in Windows 7, or I just simply disconnect and reconnect. Disconnect, reconnect's the quickest thing. And I wish it would reconnect automatically, but unfortunately it doesn't. And even if it didn't, the fact that I lose it is a bit of a pain. I don't know why it's dropping the gateway. So if you guys know of a not cheap fix, or just a remedy for that, that'd be great. I've already reset the router tonight. It seems like it's a little better this evening than it was this morning, but it got a little worse. I don't know why it got worse more recently, so I haven't figured out why. But the other thing was, I hadn't been, because I was out of the loop in the middle of the move, like basically every day up to this week, except for today, I was basically vacating the rest of my old apartment. It has been handed over now. Everything's done. So, knock on wood, that's the end of that chapter. Hopefully everything's okay over there. It wasn't the cleanest, some rooms were, I would say the majority of the place was clean. The kitchen certainly has some water damage, but that's of no fault of my own. But then there's also cleanliness issues that might be an issue with me. Certainly in the bathroom. The bathroom was, there was new parts of the bathroom that were put in, which are fine, but then there's the actual shower itself, which I didn't really keep that clean. So I had a hard time cleaning it at the end with the products that I had. And so it wasn't left in the condition I would prefer to have left it, but then again, I was running low on time just getting everything out. So I don't know what happens on live streams when this cuts, if I lose the router or bring it back, or if it just keeps on if it keeps on recording, or what happens. It'd be very interesting to see what would happen. But so far I got a funny feeling, based on what I've seen so far, it may not be an issue, because I might be sending more data. It might be something where if I'm sitting there, like I first noticed it in YouTube, then there's the services that we watch, such as like New Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling World, Ring of Honor was the first time I noticed it happen. Wrestling from a few days back, that was when I first noticed the issue. ATCS cuts out. I'm thinking to myself that as long as I'm transmitting data, it probably is not going to lose the gateway. It's when it suddenly doesn't get much from my end that could be an issue. I don't know if I need an auto pinger of some sort. I really don't know. So I know I'm talking about a lot of technical stuff, and I don't know who's going to be able to help me on that, if anybody. Otherwise, it's not the top of my priority, to be quite honest, right now. Things are starting to change in regards to what I'm focusing on. There's no longer an urgent need to get everything out. There's also no longer an urgent need to go through everything that I have. So that has changed. Now, mind you, I still have a lot of clutter. I do want to slowly tackle all that, but there's no urgency. It's my apartment now. As long as I'm not impeding, upstairs at all, or causing any, issues, I don't see it being a problem. I've lived with clutter for a long time. I can still live with, as long as I slowly, number one, keep this clean and don't clutter it up anymore. I can slowly start going through things a little at a time, and that will get me into a good situation. I did try Derail Valley, but unfortunately that was a demo and I don't have virtual reality. But I was looking at Derail Valley, by the way, and I got to admit, that thing, I don't know what it is about that, but it caught my attention. I know the physics aren't real and all that other stuff, but I was watching it, and I know Scott's, he hasn't done too much with it, but I'm curious. There's some potential there for something that I might be interested in trying. It just seemed kind of fun. That's what it seemed like to me. But yeah, who's to say? I mean, you can do the same thing. Well, not really, but it's got more of a cache-based system, like Euro Truck for trains. I guess I've heard that as a reference. So it seems kind of interesting. It also seems kind of, I could get bored of it pretty easy. So, but I don't know. Of course, a big focus that's going to be happening, I would say, relatively soon. We're in February now, and that is the programming side of things. When am I going to get to do this? If I keep having internet issues, it may be sooner than later, and a lot harder than I originally anticipated on trying. I am scheduled for a session on Monday, but there's another session. I think the next one's on Thursday, which is my normal time to see my son. So no, I'm not going to schedule anything that day. So yeah, like I said, everything's cool. It's fun to it's actually been a lot of fun to and I don't, there's going to be days I'm not going to see him, I know that, but having him or knowing he's around is almost good enough. Like even right now, this doesn't bother me at all. This is pretty comfortable, and I like it that way. It's nice to be comfortable. It's nice. He loves it. I know that. Yeah, I was actually dozing off watching YouTube. Speaking of YouTube issues, I was just dozing off watching YouTube the last little bit. But probably need a good night's sleep tonight. I think we all need some sleep. All of us. He's had a hard time sleeping. His mom has had a hard time sleeping. They've been both dealing with the whole thing, and it's been a tiring week for me. I've had a lot of short sleep nights, so. But there's not too much more to say about that right now. I will probably be back on Sunday. I'm not too sure what. I don't know. Sorry, I shouldn't say I'll be back on Sunday. I'll probably be back on Monday. I don't anticipate anything happening on Sunday at this point. I might do something with Scott. I'm not sure. I really don't know at this point. But give it about. I still need to settle a little bit. I just want to get the more important things in places set up to where I'm comfortable enough to know where everything is. I would say within about a week or so, I'm going to start seriously looking back into the programming side of things and try to push that towards. We've had a pretty cold spell, obviously, with a lot of the Northeast has. It's starting to get a little bit warmer again. This week actually will get warmer, so that'd be nice. But so far this hasn't dropped on me with this live stream. Actually, it's been holding up pretty good this evening. I've only had a couple of issues, maybe about 4 in total since I got home, where it just drops everything. So I'll be curious to see what happens during a live stream. So as a test, I thought it might happen on this one. It hasn't, at least not at this point. So, but just wanted to put that warning out there. And otherwise, I will just try a normal live stream. I might just do the dispatching with the put the cameras in the various positions. Hopefully that's entertaining for most people. I'll be a little bit more active in the sessions now. I'm not going to focus too much on cleaning, but I will try to multitask and do a few things. I have to make a few arrangements still with this little setup. I don't have the tables in the right spot and all that other stuff, but it's coming together nicely, so that's good. Did I have? Okay, I did have the cam off. Just wanted to make sure. I don't even know if my microphone's 100%. I haven't even checked that. Who cares? It's the end of this now, anyways. So, but that's it for now, guys. So I'll let you know what's happening. If you guys know any solutions to the internet issues, just drop me a line over on my forum, or once this hits YouTube, feel free to reply and let me know. And I'd be curious to try any recommendations to see what's happening. Getting a wire from downstairs, if it's Wi-Fi is the issue, getting a cable from upstairs to downstairs is going to be really tricky. Despite the fact that we're certainly close enough, and sharing different things, and yes, I'm certainly paying rent. The fact of the matter is, most cable companies and etc. or whatever, they kind of frown on sharing cable and broadband and stuff, or at least they have in the past. and it gets a little tricky if they have to do the installation. These walls are kind of thin, I think. At least I can sound travels through them quite a bit, but they're solid. I mean, if that makes sense, they're thin but solid. I mean, sound carries out through, so there's not a how would you say? There's not a an insulation gap that I'm aware of, or I don't know what the insulation is, but having the cable come through, I'm not too familiar with getting that set up, since the router is kind of above my kitchen and probably opposite to where I'm at right now. So it's gonna be tricky to do that. I'd like to try it if I can, but I'll wait till the handyman friends of Jackie's comes around, and then we can see. Maybe that's an option too. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. So the good live stream on Monday will be a good test to see what happens. And they're talking about different scheduled days. They're talking about doing different days of the week and all this other stuff. So I don't know what's going on. But I know they have a session for Thursday. I'm not going to be involved in that. I'll be involved in Mondays. So that's it. And that's it for now. So have a good weekend, guys. And I'll probably see you back on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.